Thank you very much, General. I know that seated in the front of this hall are VMI cadets who have served in Iraq. I'm grateful for your service, honored by your presence, and mindful that I speak to an audience that can discern truth from falsehood in a politician's appraisal of the war. You know better than most whether our cause is just, necessary, and winnable. You've risked much to make it so. Thank you. I'd also like to salute a few old friends of mine, Orson Swindle, Jim Berger, and Paul Galante, whose examples of steadfast courage helped to sustain me in a difficult time. This institution is steeped in the ideals of service and sacrifice exemplified by the veterans here today. VMI has helped to form the character of many fine patriots, none greater than George Marshall, whose long selfless service to our country was of inestimable value in some of the most consequential moments of the last century. As we celebrate this year the 60th anniversary of the Marshall Plan, VMI's Corps of Cadets should take renewed pride from their association with his good name in knowing a lesson of his character and patriotism has been a part of your education. I just returned from my 5th visit to Iraq. Unlike the veterans here today, I risk nothing more threatening than a hostile press corps. And my only mission was to inform my opinions with facts. We still face many difficult challenges in Iraq. That is undeniable. But we've also made in recent weeks memorable progress and measurable progress in establishing security in Baghdad and fighting al-Qaeda in Anbar province. To deny the difficulties and uncertainties ahead is an egregious disservice to the public. But as General Petraeus implements his plan to correct the flawed strategy we followed in the past and attempts to spare the United States and the world the catastrophe of an American defeat, it is an equal disservice to dismiss early signs of progress. And now we confront a choice as historically important as any we have faced in a long while. Will this nation's elected leaders make the politically hard but strategically vital decision to give General Petraeus our full support and do what is necessary to succeed in Iraq? Or will we decide to take advantage of the public's frustration, accept defeat, and hope that whatever the cost to our security, the politics of defeat will work out better for us than our opponents? For my part, I would rather lose a campaign than a war. However it ends, the war in Iraq will have a profound influence on the future of the Middle East, global stability, and the security of the United States, which will remain for the foreseeable future directly affected by events in that dangerous part of the world. The war is part of a broader struggle in the Arab and Muslim world, the struggle between violent extremists and the force of modernity and moderation. In the early days after 9/11, our country was united in a single purpose: to find the terrorists bent on our destruction and eliminate the threat they pose to us. In the intervening years, we've learned the complexity of the struggle against radical Islamic ideology. The extremists, a tiny percentage of the hundreds of millions of peaceful Muslims, are flexible, intelligent, determined, and unconstrained by international borders. They wish to return the world to the 7th century, and they will use any means, no matter how inhumane, to eliminate anyone who stands in their way. But the vast majority of Muslims are trying to modernize their societies to meet the challenges of the 21st century. While al-Qaeda seeks to destroy, millions of Muslims attempt to build the same elements of a good life that all of us want: security, opportunity, peace, and hope. The war on terror, the war for the future of the Middle East, and the struggle for the soul of Islam, of which the war in Iraq constitutes a key element, are bound together. Progress in one requires progress in all. The many complex challenges we face require more than a military response. This is a context of ideas and values as much as it is one of bullets and bombs. We must gain the active support of modernizers across the Muslim world who want to share in the benefits of the global system and its economic success, and who aspire to the political freedom that is, I truly believe, the natural desire of the human heart. No matter how much attention their ruthless tactics receive, terrorists are not the true face of Islam. Devout Muslims in Lebanon, Indonesia, Pakistan, Egypt, Morocco, Bahrain, and in Iraq aspire to progress for their societies in which basic human needs are met for more than the privileged few, and basic human rights are respected. The United States needs stronger alliances, coalitions, and partnerships worldwide to engage this long and multidimensional struggle. We need to pay careful attention to America's image and moral credibility. And in this broad effort, the outcome of the war in Iraq will play a pivotal role. On my trip, I traveled to Baghdad, Ramadi, and Tikrit and met with Iraqi cabinet officers, our top military leadership, including Generals Petraeus and Odierno, and with embassy officials, including our new ambassador, Ryan Crocker. I also had the privilege of spending time with our soldiers, from generals to privates. Their courage and resolve in this frustrating war is an inspiration and serves as a reminder of our obligations to avoid the expediency of easy but empty answers or the allure of political advantage, to choose the path in Iraq that best honors their sacrifices. We're going to need their courage more than ever. The divisions in Iraqi society are deep, and the need for greater security critical. Innocent Iraqis are still being murdered, and our soldiers are braving dangers no less threatening than in the past. Every day we read about or watch on television the latest car bombing, IED explosion, or sniper attack. But something else is happening too. There are the first glimmers of progress under General Petraeus' political military strategy. While these glimmers are no guarantee of success, and though they come early in the implementation of the new strategy, I believe they are cause for cautious optimism. For the first time in my visits to Iraq, our delegation was able to drive, not fly by helicopter, from the airport to downtown Baghdad. For the first time, we met with Sunni tribal leader in Anbar province, who is working with American and Iraqi forces to fight al-Qaeda. 16 of the 24 Sunni tribal leaders in Anbar are now working with us. We visited Iraqi and American forces deployed together in Baghdad, an integral part of the new security plan, where they maintain a presence in a neighborhood cleared of militias and terrorists and uphold the ground they have retaken, rather than return to base, after which the enemy returns to impose its will again on a defenseless population. The government of Prime Minister Maliki is delivering in its promise to deploy Iraqi brigades to Baghdad, a plan to share oil revenues equitably among all Iraqis has been approved by Iraqi ministers and is pending approval by the parliament. After an important visit by Prime Minister Maliki to Ramadi in Sunni-dominated Anbar, he promised a new policy to allay Sunni fears that they will be excluded from sharing in the political future of the country. An important result of the new security plan is the cooperation we are receiving from the Iraqi people, who are beginning to provide us with actionable intelligence about the whereabouts and plans of the enemy. These welcome developments have occurred even though only 3 of the 5 additional brigades have arrived. These and other indicators of progress are encouraging, but they are not determinative. I understand, and you understand, the damage false optimism does to public patience and support. I learned long ago to be skeptical of official reports that are long on wishful thinking and short on substance. As we make progress in some areas, the enemy strikes where we do not have as great a presence. But security